are still getting in here, so we're not actually counting this as the beginning yet, but we're so late that we're just going to kind of, it's a soft open, right? But we're really excited that you're here. It is the second annual Yallwest, which we also call the Yallfest. I'm teasing Jonathan, who's the boss of Yallfest right here, which is also the Yallfest. And we're super excited to have you here. We are expecting in excess of 10,000 people.
12,000 is the goal.
12,000, Mel says. Mel's the inflator. What are you most excited about today? Say me. Everything. Well played, sir. Well played. Okay, we're actually going to call this meeting to attention. Welcome, Yallwest 2016! If you are Snapchatting me, Snapchat, you can follow us on Yallwest, hashtag everything, hashtag on Twitter, Yallwest, or Marky. We have our beautiful author board up here behind us. I'm Margaret Stoll, this is Melissa De La Cruz. We are your festival co-directors. How much do you love us? Our fabulous author board, you kind of know who they all are, but do I really need to tell you who they are? Yes? Pseudonymous Bosch. Brendan Ray. Veronica Roth, who is just eating her cereal. Our illustrious chairs of the festival this year, Marie Lou and Tahada. Ransom Rings. Rochelle Mead, the redhead. We just met Jonathan Sanchez, our Yallfest pop. Alexander London, who with PB runs our middle grade track. Allie Condon debuting on our middle grade track for the first time. Tammy Garcia, co-founder of Yallfest. Patrick Dolan, our digital guru, who's in the room where it happened. We're all here wearing our t-shirts. I think you know what it means. This is a shout out to our brothers and sisters in North Carolina and every contested state. We believe in equality of our leadership. We know that YA means everybody, and we know that y'all means all.
Our bathrooms are for everybody.
And even our porta potties have all gender signs on them. And our official motto of this year is you can pee wherever you want, just don't pee on each other. Hashtag free pee you and me. A lot of the year our life is awful. Our life is just like yours. We are frustrated, a lot of times depressed, very crabby. I have once rolled off the stage in a rolling chair. We have problems. We are people just like you. But we have no problems the weekend of Yallwest and Yallfest, which is the happiest time of the year for us. Thank you guys for bringing the love. I could feel it when you started coming into town yesterday. I feel the love. You guys are why we do it. You are the best of the best, and we know you love us, and we love you. I'm going to turn it over to Melissa De La Cruz, but let's have a big scream because we made it. We're all here.
First we have to pay the bills. And what we do is we thank our sponsors from the bottom of our hearts because we would not be here without the support and the money from these wonderful organizations who are out there, and they have so many free books for you guys, so many cupcakes and donuts and
10 tons. We have more than 10 tons of your free swag.
And Margie actually carried them all in.
I unloaded the truck, so I know.
So years. This is our second year here.
Woo!
We are so happy. Thank you, Dr. Marie. We are so happy with Fierce Streets, who did our Friday night Fierce Friday event at the library. Yeah! I actually wanted to thank all my publishers, but then I realized I had written for almost all of these publishers. So all our sponsors are my publishers. But I do want to thank Disney Publishing Worldwide, who is my ex-publisher, Penguin Teen, Riveted, First in Line, I Read YA, Novel, the Children's Book Council, Freeform, Amulet Books, Harlequin Teen, Just Teen, the Santa Monica Public Library, the Los Angeles Times Festival of Books, Santa Monica Daily Press, Mysterious Galaxy, Santa Monica Unified School District, the Los Angeles Unified School District, Facing History, Street Poets, all our wonderful organizers, our hardworking volunteers, and you, our readers, thank you so much for being here. And now I would like to introduce the two ladies who answered the call for help last year when Margie and I almost collapsed from exhaustion from last year's festival. Our friends, our favorite writers, and two of the most fabulous ladies in the YA business, our festival chairs, Marie Lou and Tahara Maki.
Hey, you guys! Hey! I'm Marie Lou.
And I'm Tahara Maki.
Welcome to Yallwest 2016! So, thank you all so much for being here. We are just really excited that you're all here and gathered here today, and we're really excited to be your co-hosts.
And are you guys ready? We want to know, are you ready for the awesomeness going down this weekend? There's some really amazing things going down that we want to prep you for.
Yeah, like Story Ball. It's happening today at noon.
Please forgive us for our next cards, guys. And Melissa De La Cruz and Somin Chinani's keynote happening at 2 p.m. today.
Woo!
Don't miss that.
Yeah, you want to be there. Matt De La Pena and Jason Reynolds are giving their keynote this afternoon.
And we have a computing savvy tent where you can 3D print your own freaking robots.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
And of course, there is the Hamilton Sing-Along.
And we also have a Safe Spaces event followed by a cookie hangout. So,
And then there is SmackDown. Woo!
And they have so many funny jokes prepared for you. I've heard like 3 of them.
For those who attended last night's incredible Fierce Friday event, you all know how awesome it was. Thank you for being there. We really want to extend another thank you to our sponsors who made that happen, Fierce Reads, and to Robert Graves and the Santa Monica Public Library for making that happen. So huge round of applause.
On a personal note, we also wanted to remind you that we are doing a keynote tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. I really love Marie. She doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to profess my love to her over and over again, and it's going to be really fun. And I'm super thrilled to be able to spend an hour talking to her. So.
Todd is one of my favorite people in the world. This is just gonna be a love fest now. This is turning into a love fest. We're starting our keynote now.
Yallwest just brought us closer than ever.
Yes, and we are geographically close too.
Yeah, 5 minutes away from each other. So, anyway, we're neighbors.
So yes, go to our keynote.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. But before we move on, we have one very important announcement to make.
So we are all here today. We're experiencing this amazing festival. We've been watching from the wings these two incredible ladies who have made Yallwest happen this year. We've been watching them pour their hearts into this festival. They're infusing all of this amazing energy and spirit, and they've been here for us and shown us how to do all this. They are our intrepid leaders this year at Yallwest, and we're just inspired by them every single day.
And the truth is, none of this would happen without them. And, there's so many of us who try to do our part and try to fill in the gaps because we'd like to be able to help out, but at the end of the day,
none of this would happen. This Yallwest Festival would not be here today if it were not for our fearless leaders, Melissa De La Cruz and Marty Stoller.
Since we are in the city of glitz and glamour in Hollywood, we wanted to present a special gift to Marty and Mel for all that you've done.
And if they would please come up to the stage. We have something we would like to give them. Gentlemen, if you would, we have our very own Yallwest Oscars we would like to give out to these ladies in recognition of everything they have done. Thank you both.
We are so honored to know you guys.
This is for Marty Stoll and Melissa De La Cruz for kicking ass and taking the lead.
But just take note, next year's festival chairs, we got Oscars this year. So.
Ours pretty high. You are the cutest, best people in the whole world, and you're crying like a baby. Yeah, thanks, guys, but I think you really know who gets these awards because you're the guys who show up. So thank you. You're the cutest.
And chalk it up to Mel is still a completely fabulous one, right?
Okay. Now, on that beautiful note, we would like to wish everyone an amazing and happy Yallwest. Woo!
Okay, now, without further ado, we are really thrilled to introduce the powerhouse author behind such amazing books as Eleanor Park. You know where we're going with this. Fangirl. And Carry On. The #1 New York Times best-selling Rainbow Row.
Who's going to be interviewed today by the creative force behind the incredible Spider-Man Chronicles, the Iron Trial, and the Cursed Workers, and the Darkest Part of the Forest, the #1 New York Times bestselling Helen Black. Thank you all so much.
Hello, hi. Hello. I have my little coffee cup going all the time. She thinks it has ants in it. It might have ants in it. I'm going to drink it anyway. Well, I have so many questions. This is excellent. Like, really, I have a lot.
We're only going to get through 3, though, I think. So.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question. It's a multi-part question.
Okay, sounds good.
So what I would like to know is what you were like in high school, and specifically, what kind of comics you read, whether you played Dungeons and Dragons, whether you read fantasy books, and whether you had some juvenilia.
I feel like this is a personal ad.
If you played Dungeons and Dragons,
and had a love of fantasy.
it's okay. What I was like in high school, I mean, those were very difficult years for me, like the worst years for me. Really bad. I was just in a really traumatic home situation, and I was really poor. So a lot of what I took in culturally was what was available to me from my friends, because Holly, there was no internet. That's true. Yeah. So in high school, I was just kind of trying to get by, and I was also getting really into journalism. And high school journalism became kind of the thing that saved me, because I was editor of my high school newspaper, I was on the yearbook staff, and I didn't want to be at home, so I would just go to school as soon as they would let me in, and I would stay until they kicked me out. And I mostly worked on the newspaper. So that's kind of how I was. And I was a little bit undirected. I wasn't sure that I was going to college. I don't think undirected is a word, so I did go to college. But at the time, I really wasn't sure where I was headed. So I was really living for the moment, and the moment was the high As far as what I was reading, I would read anything I got my hands on, and I wasn't a discerning reader. Like I didn't have this idea that some books were better than others, and so I would read like anything I'd heard of. And mostly I got books at the thrift shop. My mom was really religious and wouldn't let me watch TV if there was kissing. So, like, haha, Mom, that's all I do now. It's just like right kiss. Sometimes it's fun. So anyway, but she would let me read anything. And even though we were broke, she would always let me buy one book at the thrift shop. Sounds very pathetic. But anyway, books were 27 cents. So what was at the thrift shop when I was a kid were the super hits of the 70s. So what I ended up reading was like My Name is Asher Lev, Tom Robbins, The World According to Garp. I was really into John Irving. Yeah, as well as like anything that I thought I'd heard of, I would read. So I read like From Here to Eternity and Exodus. And that's really what I was reading, but it wasn't like I was going, hey, I'm really into fantasy or I'm really into this. But I did get into fantasy because you would often find at the thrift shop big stacks of analog magazine. Do you remember analog magazine? And they would just be like science fiction short stories and some fantasy. And so I kind of got into it that way, but it was really like, again, just not directed. And I didn't have I wish I would have had a librarian in my life. I mean, because now I met so many. I'm trying to pander here, come on. No, I meet so many great librarians now who actually have these relationships where they're, giving kids books and leading them along. And I didn't have that, so I was like a whale, like they take in everything and just like filters through them and out. Okay, comic books. There was a guy in my neighborhood named Scott Owens, and we were the only two people in our neighborhood who were not into heavy metal. And he was like the kind of guy you would get kicked, like Sam would get kicked on him at the beach, you know what I mean? And so we sat together on the bus for safety, and he was really into comic books, and so he would let me borrow his comic books, but he was also a perfectionist. So he wouldn't let me open them all the way because it would break his So instead of Eleanor and Park, like imagine me very carefully holding a comic book, not breaking the spine, while Scott looked at me judgmentally. Like turning the page with a pencil.
It's really amazing that you came to those comics.
I know. No, I thought he was giving me this precious thing. And I remember when he finally decided I was ready for overnight lending. He lent me The Killing Joke, which my mom would have killed me if she found, so I totally read it in my bunk bed and hid it under the blanket, when I was sleeping. Yeah, so that's how I got into comics, and then as soon as I got into college, that's all I spent money on was comics. Oh, the quarter boxes. So I have a very strange comics knowledge because I have every issue of Alpha Flight because it was in the quarter box, or like the Peter David X Factor years I was really big into.
I like that each thing you say, one person. It's a different person, though.
It is.